part of this shit.
What is it?
It's the Rockin' Metal Revival! It's medication for erectile dysfunction. It gives you a boner. Drink it up! Not to be used if you have a pre-existing heart condition. If boners last for more than 4 hours, call more ladies. Welcome to the show!
Horns up, metalheads. It's time for another edition of Rockin' Metal Revival. We are back, and temperatures starting to go up. And I tell you what, the late days of summer are always the hottest, don't you think?
Yeah, but we did have some nice, decent weather there for a little while. Some 70s, which was kind of surprising. Usually you don't get those in August. You know?
I know. I was totally digging on it. I really was. I was really enjoying it. You know, the only thing I'm missing this summer is fair food.
Oh, yeah. I never went to the fair, so.
I missed me some fair food, but otherwise, you know, and that and live music, I guess.
Yeah. That goes without saying, but yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Well, we got some new music for today's show, which is kind of cool. Got some new from Seven Dust. Also, got some new from Dave Ellison's band, Ellison. Mm-hmm. What else we got here? I don't see much new stuff. Oh, the new Lynch Mob. Wait till you hear that.
Yeah, we got some Lynch Mob, and like you said, when we were talking before, I did listen to the rest of it, almost all of it, and yeah, it's not all as drastic of changes as what he did with Wicked Sensation. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, we'll talk about that coming up, and let me see. We got Klaus-Meine on the show today. You told me it would never happen.
Oh, I know. I can't believe it, dude. Can't believe it.
Yeah.
Way to go.
What a very, very nice man. It was fun talking to him. We'll play that interview coming up next hour. And we've got News of the Weird, also our Talking Real Metal, the Summer School Edition, and a lot of great hard rock and metal tonight on the show. So let's kick it off with, let me see. Let's do it with AC/DC, Back in Black.
There you go.
This is Have a Drink on Me, kicking off this edition of Rock and Metal Revival. There's brand new music from Ellison. It's called Wasted. It's an old Def Leppard classic right here on Rock and Metal Revival. What do you think of that, brother?
Dude, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, he did do a couple little different things with it, but yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. That was one of the tunes that, when I started playing guitar and stuff, that when I discovered Def Leppard, that was the tune to play, man. That and Rock Brigade. Off of that
Rock
first
Brigade,
album were really big. Fun to play.
Yeah, those first two albums from Def Leppard were huge, weren't they?
I liked them. Those are my favorites.
Yeah, I did too. I liked them a lot, and I like the way the Ellison band did it. They made it their own, but they didn't screw with it too much.
Yeah, very cool.
Very nice. Also, speaking of taking old tunes and redoing them, we were talking about it a little bit earlier. George Lynch went in with Oni Logan and Robbie Crane and Brian Tichy. I guess that's this edition of the Lynch Mob. Mm-hmm. And went in and redid probably one of the most classic albums to come out of the late 80s, early 90s in Wicked Sensation.
Just a great album from front to back,
Yeah. And honestly, those first two Lynch Mob albums were classic.
Yep.
After that, know.
Yeah.
Every once in a while you get a couple good tunes, but it was always the revolving door of who was in the band.
Yeah.
And sometimes Oni was with him, sometimes Oni wasn't with him.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a new album out called Wicked Sensation Reimaged. And he kind of changed Wicked Sensation up, but like I was telling you when we talked the other day, he really didn't screw with the other ones too much.
No, they're a little mellower than they were sound-wise and guitar part-wise. He changed but the progressions and stuff are kind of the same. It seems tuned a little lower, maybe, but they all got some of them. There's the one other one you were talking about, that No Bed of Roses. He really screwed with. That one was like, all right, what are you doing here? That sounds like nothing like the original one. So, but
that's an album, Jerry. I think I've bought that album at least 6 times.
Oh,
at least.
Yep, I thought it. I wish they would have just remastered it, remastered the original and put it out, where it's louder like everything else. the same volume.
You know,
as
I was
everything else.
afraid that what he was going to do is go in and re-record it with a different band, and then not give the writing credits and stuff to the original band.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I don't know how that stuff's working there. Yeah, because they're
Well, Ozzy seemed to do it.
Yeah, Ozzy did it a lot.
Yeah. So, I was actually had an interview set up with George Lynch for to play at a later date on this show, and with the storms coming through, we couldn't get a good phone connection. So, I know my friend Anthony Esposito has thoughts on it.
Oh, I bet he does. He was on the original. Yeah, I bet he has thoughts on it. Yeah.
He has a lot of thoughts on it, so it would be kind of, we'll get
'cause if he
George
didn't
and we'll get Anthony's opinion on that. Maybe we'll do 2 interviews that week.
Ooh.
You know, and you know what? Let's give it a listen.
Okay.
For those of you who hadn't heard it, this is called Wicked Sensation Reimagined. It's brand new music from the Lynch Mob on Rock and Metal Revival. From Fair Warning, there is the Mighty VH and Unchained on Rock and Metal Revival, and man, it don't get better than that old Van Halen, does it?
Nope. That was some classic stuff, man, and still sounds
just
fresh.
never gets old.
No, it still sounds fresh, man.
I'm
that's a
kind of looking
testament.
forward to hearing the new Wolfgang Van Halen solo album to see what he comes up with.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to hear what he's going to have, what he does.
I'm proud
what's
of
going
him,
on
though,
in
for
his
not
head.
having his dad on it, or David Lee Roth on it, or his uncle.
Yeah, or Sammy. That would have been
Yeah.
the thing to have Sammy come and sing on it.
I was
dad
really
would-
afraid he'd have Gary Sharon sing on it, but I mean,
Oh yeah, that wouldn't be good. No,
that didn't work for his dad. It wouldn't work for him either.
no, I don't see.
We've
that.
had Gary Sharon on this show, haven't we? Yeah, we have.
Gary's a nice guy, great
He
singer.
was a great guy.
God, great singer. That was just not a good move for either one of them. But oh well.
That was actually a worse move than Karabi joining Motley.
Yep, I'd say so.
But I would say Karabi put out a great album.
That's true. That's
true. All right, it is time for News of the Weird. And, Jerry, we're going to go right over to the state of Happy Sloth.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Oh,
we're going to
cool.
go right over to the state of Michigan, where, right now no one should be having huge parties, right?
No.
But-
I'd recommend not. But
Yeah, but if you're trying to break one up, don't be crazier than the person throwing the party themselves.
Okay.
A 20-year-old guy near Detroit was having a loud party last Friday, so the cops came to break it up. And while they were there, one of the guy's neighbors decided to help. 46-year-old Chris Hogarth, there we go, walked out and started arguing with the guy, who told him to go back inside and mind his own damn business. He did go back inside, but when he came back out, he had a loaded shotgun with him.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. So the cops, who were arguing with the guy about shutting the party down, all of a sudden they heard the shotgun being racked.
Oh.
And Chris and saw Chris standing there on the porch holding the gun. When they ordered him to drop it, he went back inside, but he eventually gave himself up. Turned out Chris was a little drunk.
No.
He's facing charges for possession of a firearm while intoxicated.
Yeah. Not a good thing to do.
I understand, man. You get your neighbors are throwing a party, and you're pissed because you weren't invited. But
yeah.
Don't bring out the shotgun.
No, shotguns. I'd recommend not trying to take shotguns to parties. It's just not.
All right, so here's one I can see some of our Rock and Metal Revival listeners having a problem with right here, and I'm not going to mention any names. You can at the end.
Oh, okay.
All right. Sometimes, Jerry, when you're driving down the road, rolling down the window is just not enough.
Okay.
This past Monday, a 50-year-old taxi driver in South Korea got into an argument with a 20-year-old passenger who wouldn't stop passing gas in the back seat of his cab.
Oh, man.
Well, the argument and the smells got so intense that the cab driver grabbed a knife and stabbed his passenger 10 times.
Yikes! 10 times. Wow.
Yeah. Fortunately, the passenger is going to survive, but he was rushed to a hospital with some pretty serious injuries. The cab driver was arrested and charged with attempted murder. He said, quote, "I think I lost my mind there for a moment. The smell was so bad."
It was one for each toot. There's one. There's two. He's sitting there counting them off. All right, there we go.
Yeah, keep doing it.
Yep, keep it up. You're lucky there's a stoplight here, and I can start racking these up now.
Well, you know how that is. Sometimes there ain't enough air freshener in the world.
Oh, yikes, man. Yeah. No.
I don't see stabbing a guy for it, though.
Jeez.
All right, our next story comes from the state of Arkansas, or Arkansas. There we go.
Arkansas.
You know how people see Jesus' face in all sorts of strange places, like, in the sky or a cereal box or, on a dog's butt or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Toast. Yeah, piece of toast or something. Yeah. Yep.
Well, this right here is a Freudian version of that kind of thing. A 21-year-old woman named Georgia Rogers from Arkansas recently ordered a white cutting board with a marbled finish on it from Amazon. All right?
Okay.
Seems harmless.
Yeah.
Well, when she got it, the marbling looked exactly like a huge penis.
Okay. Yeah. Really? Is that what she used?
And get this, man, apparently it wasn't a prank. The marble pattern just somehow took the shape, and Georgia says, guess what? She's keeping that cutting board.
Oh, yeah. Be careful. That's the sausage one. We can only cut kielbasa's and stuff on that one. Yeah, that's summer sausage.
Oh, boy.
The hard salami.
The world is going to hell, and we're just watching. All right, last but not least, this story we got to be a little careful with, okay? Because nowadays it is just amazing what modern surgeons can erect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a 45-year-old guy named Malcolm McDonald. He lives in England. Well, back in 2014, he had a terrible blood infection in his, let's use the medical term here. That can't be. Well, we'll just call it his taint, okay?
Oh, nice.
Well, it was so bad, Jerry, that his penis fell off.
Ouch! Really?
Yeah, although the testes stayed intact, but now Malcolm is getting a genitalia reboot, as surgeons have managed to regrow a new penis on his forearm.
Okay. Imagine walking around with that. Hey, man, my long sleeve shirts just don't fit the same.
It's been growing there for the last 4 years, and soon it'll be surgically grafted for him down below. He's the first person to ever grow new junk on his own arm.
He's waiting for it to touch the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he's like, yeah, there we go.
Yeah. They put it far enough up his arm so he didn't have to touch it all the time. It won't necessarily work on its own, but it'll have a pump built in so Malcolm can inflate it when he needs to perform.
Pump it up.
Yep.
Okay.
So basically, he just can't believe this is happening. Quote, they can make me a new penis, and this is just incredible, but they can't, but they can build it on my arm is just mind-blowing, he says. He's been walking around with on his arm for 4 years. Congratulations, Malcolm.
I want to know. No, I better not. I better just leave that alone.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that winds up News of the Weird.
That's what he's probably being told all the time. Leave that thing alone. Quit doing that.
Quit touching that. Yeah.
You're going to break it. But I can't help it. It's right there. Just rubbing it on
that winds
everybody.
up News of the Weird. Coming up, we got some Talking Real Metal. And next hour, we talk to Klaus-Meine of the Scorpions right here on Rock and Metal Revival.
Here's your latest hard rock and metal news on Rock and Metal Revival.
Horns up, metalheads. It's time once again for another edition of Talking Real Metal. For you kids in summer school, get out your notepads, because it's time to do some learning.
Oh, let me do the school bell, dinner bell.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Gets your attention.
This segment of the show brought to you by Happy Sloth.
Oh, yes. And the strain of the week, Hembra.
Yeah.
Hembra. Good stuff.
All right. Jerry gives it the two thumbs sideways.
I have never met a strain I didn't like. I can honestly say that. You know how you get a beer and you're like, oh, this beer sucks. No, never had a strain I didn't like.
Really?
Yep.
Even back in the day?
back in the day, they didn't have strains. It was all
some guy got it out of his uncle's field.
Yeah, you were just hoping that it wasn't packed with. There was more material there than there were stems and seeds.
Exactly. All right, back to the rock news. Deep Purple's Roger Glover. Every album is potentially our